Have you ever wondered what makes some people so magnetic that even a simple conversation with them feels charged, almost hypnotic, as if they're speaking directly to something hidden inside you? It's not about looks, status, or clever lines. It is about understanding the secret language of the human mind, a language Carl Jung once described as the dialogue between the conscious and the unconscious, where emotions, symbols, and desires silently rule everything we feel. Welcome to the Stoic Flame. Here we explore the unseen patterns that shape connection, power, and attraction. And today, I'll show you how ordinary words can awaken something extraordinary, how a simple exchange can evolve into an unspoken current of desire and understanding. Most people drift through conversations the way they move through life, on autopilot. They repeat the same questions, use the same tones, and never realize that behind every word lies an emotional doorway. But a few understand the deeper game, the art of emotional resonance. These people don't talk to impress. They talk to awaken. They speak with rhythm, silence, and suggestion. Every pause becomes a mirror where the other person begins to see their own hidden emotions reflected back at them. This is the invisible art of psychological communication, a dance between imagination and meaning. Jung discovered that inside each of us live ancient symbols and archetypes: the lover, the explorer, the hero, the shadow. They sleep in the depths of our unconscious until something, or someone, calls them to life. When you understand how to speak to those hidden parts, you no longer just communicate. You connect at a level that bypasses logic entirely. Imagine talking to someone and making them feel as if you understand a part of them that even they've never put into words. That is the essence of projection, the emotions they feel, the fantasies they see, the stories they build inside. All of it begins to associate with you. You become the mirror, the vessel for their inner world. That is why true attraction isn't something you create. It is something you awaken. And it begins not with loudness, but with presence. The biggest mistake people make is thinking attraction means talking more, explaining more, showing off. But real influence lies in silence, suggestion, and emotional pacing. When you pause before you speak, when you let your words hang in the air just long enough, the other mind rushes to fill that space. And it fills it with imagination. The mind hates emptiness, so it paints meaning into every gap you leave. That's why a single, well-timed line can echo far deeper than 1,000 empty compliments. Instead of saying, "You look beautiful," say, "There's something about the way you look right now," like you are remembering something dangerous. You see the difference? You've created an emotion without defining it. You've invited imagination, and in that space, desire grows. It's never about being explicit. It's about being evocative. Jung said that what we repress always seeks expression. So when someone feels they can reveal a hidden side of themselves with you, when they can talk without judgment or censorship, something powerful happens. That's when connection becomes chemistry. That's when attraction becomes inevitable. But the deeper truth is this: attraction doesn't depend on who you are. It depends on what the other person projects onto you. We don't see people as they are. We see them as mirrors of our inner worlds. If you can reflect back the emotions someone secretly longs to experience, mystery, adventure, safety, passion, you become the embodiment of that emotion in their mind. And that's what draws them in. Conversation is not about exchanging information. It's about awakening images. Every question, every glance, every silence should pull from the unconscious something vivid and emotional. When you ask, "What's the riskiest thing you've ever done?" you're not seeking a fact, you're inviting a confession. When you whisper, "I probably shouldn't say this, but something about you changes the energy in the room," you're not stating truth, you're creating tension, anticipation, intimacy. That's how language becomes alchemy. The human psyche responds not to logic, but to emotional suggestion. If you learn to guide it, carefully, subtly, every interaction becomes electric. But there's a warning too. Every mind has its guardian, the part that protects it from vulnerability. Push too hard, too fast, and that guardian builds a wall. So never force, suggest, invite. Let curiosity, vulnerability, and complicity be your tools. Curiosity makes someone want to know more. Vulnerability makes them feel safe enough to open. Complicity creates the feeling that this moment belongs only to the two of you. Say something like, "I like that not everyone understands conversations like this. It's rare." That one sentence builds a secret world between you, and in that world, defenses fall naturally. Jung called this the moment when the shadow stirs, when the hidden parts of ourselves come to the surface, unguarded. When someone reaches that point with you, they feel seen in a way that transcends attraction. It becomes almost spiritual. That's why true magnetism has nothing to do with manipulation. It's about presence, the way you make someone feel understood without words. As the conversation deepens, words begin to fade, replaced by pauses, glances, shared silence. And that's when the real energy moves. You'll notice subtle signs, slower breathing, longer eye contact, a slight softening of the voice. These are not coincidences. They're signals of alignment, of projection made real. The unconscious mind is responding. It's awakening the lover, the explorer, the archetype most alive in that person. And when that happens, you're no longer two strangers talking. You've become two reflections of the same desire. Remember this: what we repress controls us, but what we accept transforms us. The same applies to connection. When you embrace silence, when you understand timing, when you learn to balance mystery with clarity, you gain a quiet power that few ever master. The Stoic flame is not about chasing attention or manipulating emotion. It's about understanding the timeless patterns of human nature and learning to move with them, not against them. Every word, every pause, every breath you take can either build distance or ignite connection. The choice is yours. Because in the end, communication is creation. The words you speak are not just sounds. They are keys that unlock the hidden chambers of another soul. So ask yourself, will you keep speaking to be heard? Or will you learn to speak to be felt? If this message resonated with you, stay with us here on the Stoic Flame, where we explore the art of human depth, how to understand, awaken, and master the unseen power within every conversation, every glance, every heartbeat. Because the greatest seduction is not of the body, it's of the mind. And once you learn to touch that, everything changes.